بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Indeed, all praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, and we seek His forgiveness, and we seek refuge in Allah from the evils of our souls and from the evil consequences of our deeds. Thereafter, to proceed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a continuation of our weekly lesson where we go through the book Durus al-Muhimma, the essential lessons or the important lessons that every Muslim needs to learn in order to worship Allah correctly. And in this lesson we're going to continue from the tafsir of Surah Al-Humazah. Surah Al-Humazah is a surah which is Makkiyah. It's revealed in Mecca. It was revealed in Mecca, and the main theme of this surah is of Surah Al-Asr. It talks about how the human being is destroyed and is at loss, and it makes some exceptions, of course, but it also, in addition to that, talks about the hereafter and the hellfire, and how Allah Azza wa Jal depicts this hellfire is very unique in the Quran. It is narrated in this surah that Allah Azza wa Jal describes the hellfire and He attributes it to Himself. Narullahi al-Muqadah, the fire of Allah, and this only comes in Surah Al-Humazah. So this is encouragement for all of us to prepare for the hereafter and to put something forth in order to be saved from this fire. So this surah Al-Humazah describes the qualities of the people who will be going into the hellfire, and it's given them some certain characteristics and attributes. So Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Waylun likulli humazatin lumazah. Wayl is, as mentioned in the tafsir of more than one of the scholars, it is a river in the hellfire. It is also said that it is a word which shows destruction and loss, and it shows and indicates that this person who has the following characteristics will be destroyed unless they make tawbah from that, of course. So Allah says, Waylun ay khusran wa halak. It is loss and destruction. Woe to every slanderer and to every mocker. So Allah mentions two things here, and He says that the person who slanders and scorns and mocks others, he will be thrown into the fire. And the fire is given the following description in the following ayats. So this fire here, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Wayl. It is wayl, it means loss and destruction. May he be destroyed and may he be punished. And then Allah says, لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. So every scorner, every slanderer, everyone who slanders with statements and utters it through their tongue. Al-Humazah, every mocker, the one who does that and he mocks others through actions and gestures, i.e. whispering, mocking others with the body movements and the actions and gestures. So these are the difference between the words Al-Humazah and Lumazah, and they are both blameworthy attributes and descriptions that are given to the person who does this. And of course Allah threatens that person with the punishment. And then moreover Allah mentions the description of this person, the one who mocks and the one who slanders, the one who speaks ill of others when they are not present, and the one who speaks ill of others when they are present. He will have the following characteristics. Allah says, الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالًا وَعَدَّدَهُ. The one who counts, the one who gathers, and the one who amasses and accumulates مَالًا, wealth, وَعَدَّدَهُ, and counts it. So his concern and his main concern is gathering wealth, accumulating it, and amassing wealth, and counting it. And that's all he cares about. He does not give any concern to the hereafter, or he does not give concern to the worship of Allah. and this is what concerns him the most, meaning this is his only job and this is what he preoccupies himself with. And he brags about it and he boasts about it and he says and he shows it to others and he says, this is how much I have and this is what I own. يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَ. Then Allah gives another description of him and he says, he thinks يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَ. He thinks that his wealth will make him last forever. The one who has these attributes thinks and remains in that thinking and he has that mindset, this wealth will help him against the fire of Allah and the punishment of Allah. And it's not a blameworthy action to gather wealth and to work and to save up. Like Allah is referring to the one who gives all of their consent to this wealth and he does not think about the hereafter, and all he cares about is how to gather wealth and how to count it and to amass it and to own properties and lands and wealth. Allah Azza wa Jal then says, كَلَّا لَيُنْبَذَنَّ فِي الْحُطَمَةِ. The end result of this person and the consequence of his actions will be that لَيُنْبَذَنَّ, he will be thrown فِي الْحُطَمَةِ, into the crushing fire or the blazing fire. Al-Hutama is one of the names of the hellfire, and it is the one that demolishes and the one that crushes and the one that destroys the person who is thrown into it, i.e. due to the severity of this punishment and due to how much this person will be punished and how serious and dangerous this hellfire is. So Allah Azza wa Jalla says that the result of his actions, i.e. the one who mocks and slanders others and he owns and he gathers wealth and he counts wealth, will be that he will be thrown into the fire, the crushing fire. And then Allah says, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ, and what will make you know فِي الْحُطَمَةِ, what al-hutama is, the crushing one is. Allah will give a description of that. And Allah is asking us this question, and you will often find وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ in the Quran, and when Allah mentions وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ, it means that He wants to drag our attention and attract us to the seriousness of the situation and the matter. And Allah says, what is the crushing fire, i.e. what's this crushing fire, what will make you know it, how will you know that this is the fire? And this is a question to incite terror and worry in the person's heart, so that we may be careful and that we may be vigilant and work for the hereafter to be saved from the hellfire. Narullahi al-muqada, Allah says, it is the blazing fire, and due to the severity of this fire, it is always blazing, al-muqada. It is the one that is lit with fire and it never extinguishes. It is never extinguished. And the person who works, or the person who puts forth actions and statements and deeds that can lead to the hellfire, will now probably think, this fire of Allah that's being lit, what are the actions that can save a person from that fire, if this person has an intellect. And of course Allah tells us that in the Quran. The opposite is what will save a person from this fire, i.e. not slandering and mocking others, not speaking ill of others' honors, not speaking ill or violating the rights of others, and so on. And then Allah says, نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة. So Allah is giving a very deep explanation or description of this fire, and He says that which leaps up over the hearts, it covers the hearts. So this fire will reach the hearts. Why? Because this heart is where all of the thinking and all of the bad actions have resulted from. I.e., if a person wants to commit a sin, the first thing they do is they think about it, and it comes to their heart, and Shaitan throws the whispers into their heart. So therefore this person, the first thing they will work with, or the first thing they will employ from their bodily organs is the heart. And Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying that this heart will be punished severely, and that fire will reach the heart and it will be burned. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said that ألا وإن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله. That there is an organ in the body that if it's rectified and it's straight and it's sound, then the rest of the bodily organs will be sound and healthy. And if this is corrupt and spoiled, then the rest of the body will be corrupt as well. إِنَّهَا عَلَيْهِمْ مُؤْصَدَةٌ. Indeed, or verily, and questionably, عَلَيْهِمْ مُؤْصَدَةٌ. It will be closed on them. This fire will be closed on them, i.e. there will be no escape for them, and it will be closed on them. So this is the meaning of the gates of the fire, i.e. the gates will be shut over them, and they will be unable to escape that fire. And they will call out, as Allah mentions in other places, the keeper of the gates of hellfire, and they will say, "O Malik, give us respite from this. Ask your Lord to lessen the fire and the punishment for us." So this is the end of Surah Al-Humazah, and in it the main theme is that it gives descriptions to the person who is destroyed and the one who will be at loss in the hereafter. And it also gives description of the fire, that is, or the hellfire, or the punishment that awaits this person. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to save us from the hellfire and our families and our parents, and to admit us into Jannah without a punishment or any punishment. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We'll stop here inshallah, carry on from there in the next lesson.